Hey, what is up, guys? And today I'm going to show you the one app, my go to app that I use constantly to make all of my thumbnails for the videos that I upload on YouTube. So, obviously, you can use Photoshop, but because I work on my iPad and my iPhone, even for editing my videos, so I use this app on my iPhone or iPad called Photofox right here. Now, you do have a paid version of this app which gives you a host of unlimited features, but right now I'm using the free version and it just does the job for me. So, yeah, it just works. As you can see in the past, I've made all these thumbnails using Photofox. So, I'm just going to show you from scratch how I make a thumbnail. So, we're going to a new one. So say I've taken a few photos. I'm going to just take a very crappy random photo here. Say I choose this photo. So this is a photo I took on my iPhone of my camera. I'm selling this camera. So say I wanted to make a thumbnail with this photo. So first up, as you can see in the interface, this layer, this you can see the entire photo has a border. So it's, and on the side you see this layer is selected. So if I tap somewhere else, now it's not selected. If I tap on this layer is selected. And if I tap the plus button, I have the option of adding these. Now on the free version, you can add a total of, I think, 3 layers maximum. If it's the paid version, you have unlimited layers. So these are the options you get. We'll get into that later. So first, say for YouTube thumbnails, some of you will know if you're a creator that the thumbnail dimensions are, the ratio is 16:9. So say if you go into this, tap this button, the crop button. So over here you can have the horizontal flip in case you want to flip your image, vertical flip, and then you have fixed ratios. So like I said, YouTube thumbnails are 16:9 ratio. So you can just rotate this and you can adjust where you want it. All right, so we're not going to use this right now because I don't want to crop. I'm just showing you. And then you have sizes. So it's got some prefix size in case you're in a hurry. So you've got Instagram, you've got the Instagram story, you've got Facebook cover photo, Facebook profile, Twitter header. So, and for a number of phones as well. And for prints, you have A4, A5. So you get the idea. These come in really handy and you don't have to look up on the net. You can just use the preset right there. Okay, back to the photo. So starting off, you have filters. So in case you want to use filters, now I'm not a big fan of filters. I like to edit my photos and tweak them to the way I want them, but you always have these filters at your disposal. So say you choose this filter and you can adjust the intensity like so. Now if you go in, if you tap these 3 dots, you go in. Now you can add some more grain if that's the kind of artistic look you want. You can add fade and the intensity. So that's up to you. Now you can see there is a this little logo of a rubber or eraser on the side. If you tap this, you can select out or you can choose which part of your image will have the effect and which part won't. So right now the erase option has been highlighted. So say I don't want this faded look on my camera. So if I just wipe this with my finger, it's going to remove the effect from my from the place where I'm tapping and keep it on the rest. Now on the top right hand corner, you can see this brush icon. If you tap on that, you can adjust the size of the brush. Below that you have the opacity. Below that you have feather. So whether you want a hard edge, absolutely, or you want a feathered edge. And this is the best option I have. And on the last option, it is the edge avoidance. So if you keep it on, so basically it automatically detects the edge very intelligently and like so. So it's not, as you can see, it's not removing the effect from the floor, but just the edge. So it auto detects that. Now just to make it easier, you can always zoom in and then do it. And as you can see, it's very intelligently detecting the edge and doing that. All right, so say I zoom in and by mistake I've erased a bit from the floor. Obviously you can undo by tapping this, or you can use restore and just put the effect back in, and since the edge avoidance is on, it will avoid the camera edge or the whatever surface you are trying to avoid. All right, now let's get out of this. Now what I mainly do is I go into adjust, and that's where I mainly tweak around whatever I want: exposure, contrast, add a bit of sharpening here. Now as you can see, a few of the features which have this try emblem on them is because it's the free version, so they're not going to allow you to use that. But you don't need that. If you do, you obviously have to pay for it. So you want to increase saturation a bit, shadows, highlights. Let's keep it to that. Add a bit of tint. So I'm just doing a very crappy rough job. I just want to show you what you can do. Say like that. All right. I'm just going to go through what I use. There are a number of things here. The video will become too long, so I want to make it look good. So I go into effects and I use light effects. So you have a number of things in the free version. So say I want to use this. You'll see me using this a lot in a number of my thumbnails. I like this effect a lot. So say I place it here, but ideally in my mind, I want this rainbow effect to be, say, behind the camera. So I think you've guessed it. After doing this, I'm going to go into this eraser, and I'm going to erase the part which has the camera on it. So I'm just going to zoom in and zoom it further. Just decrease the size of the brush. Just going to remove this. And just a pro tip, make sure each time you're doing these effects using your fingers to wipe, make sure you don't do it at one go. So make sure you lift your finger and do it again, because say you make a mistake somewhere, obviously you can restore it, but if you undo, it's going to undo the entire move that you've just made. So make sure you lift your finger every now and then so that you can just undo the last step and then proceed. Okay, getting these edges. So you can see how edge avoidance is really, really intelligent, and even with my fingers, you can do a pretty decent job in getting the edges just right. So I'm just going to do a very crappy job here because I want to take up too much time. So yeah, so as you can see, I missed a part there. So if I just undo, it takes back so much. So like I said, always remember to lift your finger every now and then so that it just undoes a little bit, maybe just one step, instead of all the hard work you did trying to edit this. So just zoom in. Okay. So say I don't want the effect on my hand as well. So we'll just remove that. So again, I made a mistake with the edge. So over here, I'm just going to use the restore tool and bring back that effect. And just fine tune this area right here. All right, so say I like what I have here. Now, if you go back and tap on these three dots, you can increase the opacity of the effect. So it's at 100%. You can flip it if you want, and you can change the hue. So say something like this. All right. Now again, you can go back and add another effect on this as well, if that's what you want. I sometimes like to add a glow at the edge, something like this. So obviously you can even rotate this. So say I want to glow something like this over here. And again, after adding that, I don't want the glow to be on my hand or on the camera. I just want it at the edge. So quickly we'll just erase that part out. The amazing thing is I'm doing all this and such detailed work on my iPhone, not on a PC, not on a laptop. It's the iPhone, and this app has been working like a charm ever since I've been editing my videos on my iPad and getting my job done. I mean, if something gets your job done, guys, why would you invest in something that is far more expensive? I mean, and say I want it to be like this. Yeah. All right, not the best photo obviously, but you guys get the idea of what you can do. Now you can add some vignette if you want. You can adjust something like this. You can increase the brightness, corners, I want them rounded, and you can even add blur to the edges if you want, something like that. All right, now Duo gives you a number of preset effects, so if you're into that, you can use them. You can adjust, change the angle, or maybe we'll add some. Okay, and you can go in and you can change the color combination as well. So right now it's kind of like a pink or magenta and green, or kind of a cyan. So if you want, you can change that to maybe say a more intense pink, red, or orange, whatever one you want. So we'll go with this. All right, now sketch is yeah, it gives you the sketch effect. So obviously I'm not going to use this here. Glitch is something which is quite fun, but obviously you use that only when it's necessary, or maybe when you're making a video that deserves that kind of an effect. Now reshape, target, heal, these are all premium features you get in the paid app. Now frame, if you want, you can choose a number of frames, different shapes and sizes, so whichever one you want. I don't need them right now. So now I'm going to show you that I want to add some text to this photo. So I'm going to tap the plus button here, and the new layer which I'm going to add is going to be a text layer. So what should it be? Camera for sale. Yeah, pretty original. All right, so say I want it here. All right, and the good thing is, say you want it dead center. So as I'm moving this about, when it reaches center of this image, it kind of snaps or locks into the center position, so you know it's dead center now. So this is really useful. All right, so now we have that. Now on the bottom you can see that you have font. Now there are a number of free fonts you have, and then these starred ones are the paid version. So I always use this font because it looks the most classy or sober, but you do have choices. So I'm going to go with this default one. Obviously by pinching in and out you can adjust the size. So say this is the size I want. You can change the color. I'm going to leave it to white. You can add a stroke, which is essentially a border to this if you want, and you can adjust the opacity of the stroke as well, like so. You can add a shadow to your text and adjust the angle of the shadow like that. I like it to be dead center, so it gives you that relief, opacity, and okay, this should be 0. Okay, and you can adjust the blur of the shadow as well. Maybe, yeah, that looks good. Okay, now you have your spacing option. So characters, so you can add space between the letters, and because I have 2 lines here, like camera is 1 line, for sale is another line, I can add space between the lines as well, so pretty handy there. And you have blending, so you have overlay. I kind of use this a number of times, screen, so you have to choose which one looks good. Say I'm going to use overlay for this. looks good. And transform is if you want to flip it and rotate. You get the idea. So now I've added my font, my text as well. Now you can convert this to a smart object, so then you lose the ability to edit the text you have, but you can use this as a smart object. And it's a different thing. I'm not going to get into that, but these are the basics. So I've got this. All right, now you can add one more layer. So say you want to add an element, you can choose whatever shape you want. So you have a number of shapes and sizes to choose from. These are premium, so they're not going to allow you to use that. I don't need any shape right now, so I'm just going to delete this layer. And you get the idea. So this is basically it. Now there are more advanced things you can do with this, but if you want to see those advanced editing features, you do let me know. I will make another detailed video on that, and it takes a lot of time. But this is a rough idea as to what you can do with this. So now once you're ready with this, you can go to export. Now you can choose the quality. So I always leave it to PNG, not JPEG, because that is a lot of compression happens and loses quality. And you can choose the export size. So max would be the max that you can output. And for thumbnails, I think even 4 megapixels is enough. So say you leave it to max, whatever, and you hit export and saved. That's it. Your thumbnail is ready. So if you want, you can save this in case you want to edit this later on, or you can discard. So if I save this, well, that's it. And there we go. And my thumbnail is ready. So that's kind of the tutorial or walkthrough of the Photofox app, the app that I always use to make my thumbnails for my videos. So if you guys enjoyed this, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos like this on how I edit my thumbnails, if you want an actual run through of how I edit them in detail, do let me know. I will try to make such a video. It's a great app, presently only on for Apple devices, but a very good app. Even the free version is great. If you want to learn some tips and tricks on how you can use more layers even in the free version, you do let me know. I will let you guys in on that secret as well. Anyway guys, thank you for sticking along, and I hope this wasn't as boring as I think it will be. Thank you for watching. Hit like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to PureCast9, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.